another episode of Magic Kool-Aid. I know you've all been waiting so faithfully, and here it is. Your prayers have been answered. Tonight, there is another episode of Magic Kool-Aid, which I'm now just being redundant at this point. So, welcome to the show. I know that a lot of the UK viewers have tuned in, particularly to watch Angie, I don't know, whatever I do with people, they're tuning in to watch me do that to Angie. So I want to get to her fairly early on because I know it's later over there, but there's some other things. Get that horrible bit out of the way. Why don't we just go ahead and get right to Angie Power Disney? How does that sound? I know everyone's super excited. Now, I don't know where to begin with Angie because there are a couple new things going on. First, Belinda McKenzie was arrested recently. It was either, I don't think it was yesterday. It might have been yesterday. It could have been the day before yesterday. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad she was arrested. But Angie Power Disney should look forward to being similarly arrested. Or actually, her arrest will be much more hilarious. And her trial will be much more juicy and salacious than Sabine McNeil's trial. Because Sabine was never as full-on vicious and well, I don't really know too much about Sabine. But from what I can tell, she just seems like a manipulative idiot who thinks that she can manipulate like the trial, and she can manipulate the jury and the judge, and just never mind. I really want to go on a long rant about that whole trial, but I probably should save it. But Angela Power Disney has a very brilliant defense for, I think, not only is she going to use this defense to prevent the videos that she created from being played in court as evidence against her, but I think she may also make some money off of it. So here, we're going to start at 4:15. 1 second here. This, of course, comes to us from great friends of the show, Mackenzie's Devils, out there on the front lines. So let's listen up.
Both in Rupert Quaintance's trial and now in Sabine's trial, videos of mine have been shown in the court and to the jury. I think I might have a copyright claim there. I don't think you asked permission to use my my work. Videos of mine have been shown in the court and to the jury. I think I might have a copyright claim there. I don't think you asked permission to use my my work. Videos of mine have been shown.
All right, so this fucking retarded old hag honestly believes that, like, her legal defense can be, if so, like, let's say when she gets dragged to court and they start showing the various videos of her breaking the law, her brilliant legal strategy will be to claim that you don't have the legal right to show those videos in court as evidence against me to prove that I broke the law, because I never signed off to give you legal permission to do that. You broke copyright law when you showed video evidence of me breaking the law repeatedly after I was told not to. Is basically her fucking argument. Well, Angie, first I want to say, like, congratulations, because I didn't think that you were that fucking retarded, but it turns out you're a lot more retarded than I believed possible for a human being. And the second thing that I want to point out is, what was it that I was going to point out? See, I always get on these diatribes. I don't know. I'll just cover for it and just say Angie is a man, and then you guys think about that while it comes back to me. Oh, no, wait. So we're done there. Angie's brilliant legal defense. She's going to declare that her copyright's been violated when those videos are shown against her as evidence in a court of law, which will surely happen. And I'm sure that oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Angie, do you really think that that's how the law would work anyway? Because why would, like, let's say that Jeffrey Dahmer videotaped himself killing and eating his victims. And then the court found the videos, and it was the only evidence against Jeffrey Dahmer, but it proved indisputably that he was guilty. Do you think the court would say, well, Jeffrey, before we can show this as evidence against you, can we get your signature here so that we have the right to legally show them, you not violate your copyright in the process? If that was the case, well, it wouldn't be the case because no criminal would ever sign off on that, you fucking idiot. So I just wonder, is some troll feeding you this stupid idea that you can use copyright laws to prevent yourself from being criminally penalized for the various laws you've broken? Because that's not how it works. In fact, the laws you've broken far supersede... yeah, that's right. Copyright laws! I'm embarrassing myself. But anyway, I just think it's interesting that that's the brilliant defense she came up with. But there are a lot more interesting developments in the Angie Power Disney case. Not the least of which is that around 1:30 in the morning last night, she shat her panties for the second time this month. But that's on a need-to-know basis. Angie Power Disney has also tried to identify Flow Destroyer, and in the process of doing so, she's thrown an innocent person under the bus, and it gets a lot worse than that. So let's first show, I don't actually want to show the video of the person she throws under the bus. She is going to say his name in this video, and for that I can't be helped, because he is her friend, and this is what happens when you're friends with Angie Power Disney. Alright, so let's get started. This is called Breaking News Update. London has a secret. I want to say her balls appear to have grown in circumference, because she was having other people put her messages online, like speaking to Daniel John Lee and doing interviews like that, and having Americans or people in other countries upload the content. But now she seems to, for whatever reason, feel emboldened enough to post videos once again on her own channel, which will all be used against her in court of law, regardless of whether or not you allow them to be used per copyright laws, you stupid asshole. But anyway, let's just let it get started, and I'll explain as we get into it.
Hey, friends, foes, and countrymen.
Praise Shalom, praise Yah.
Traitors and all who fall on the side of evil.
By the way, this fucking retarded old hag, like, she thinks she's so smart. One of her friends, like, did some kind of drop. First, they named someone who I'm not going to talk about, and then they, like, in their drop, they released something in binary code listing a number of people who need to be investigated as satanic cult members, and my name was listed on there. So I want you to know, first off, anyone can use Google to get a binary code translator, so I don't know who's supposed to be impressed that your retarded friend dropped my name into a binary code document that they used Google to translate, because I guarantee your friends are not smart enough to on the fly type in binary code. And second, I don't know what the point of even typing in binary code is when I can take the whole message to Google and translate it in about 20 seconds, you fucking idiot. So you can stop with your mind games. You can stop pretending you're scary. The only person you're scary to is the guy that you thought was Flow Destroyer, who, spoiler alert, his cat is now dead. But let's let Angie explain. She's a nice person. I'm sure that she won't come off looking like a horrible, psychotic, dangerous piece of shit at all.
Two minds about making this video. I'm not my usual upbeat self. I just want to crawl under the duvet.
You should crawl under a 6-foot hole.
So I'll just make a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to harass anybody or incite violence of any sort.
Damn it.
The views or breaking news intelligence that I disseminate, I have not double, triple cross-checked at this stage. So do your own research, and people should kind of develop a habit of doing that anyway, but not everybody is a researcher.
You're not.
I'm a broadcaster.
You're not a broadcaster
but I have
either. I love how she goes, this video is not intended to incite violence of any kind. I'm not trying to incite violence. And yet the person that she claimed with no evidence whatsoever was Flow Destroyer, his cat's now been murdered. And I'm not claiming that Angie Power or her friends orchestrated that at all. I'm just saying, would it surprise you if they had? Because they fly off the handle with zero evidence and start calling people cannibals and fucking rapists with no evidence. So would you be shocked if they think that killing a cat for Yah is a good thing to do? Because I guarantee you that's what happened, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
The Holy Spirit inside me, and I have pretty good discernment.
Yeah, you do. Your discernment was terrible when you named your friend as Flow Destroyer and got his cat murdered, you stupid ass. So don't go on here after you fucking threw your own friend under the bus and his fucking pet was murdered and say that you have good discernment. Because you've just proven to us all that you have zero discernment.
For
you don't even know you're
who's
breaking
bringing
the law,
forth
you
truth and
stupid
who's
bitch.
sowing disinfo. And sometimes I get caught, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with passing along false information which gets my own friends' pets killed. It happens to everyone. No, it doesn't.
At a young age, that the way to learn is not to be afraid to make mistakes. There's a lot of people never achieve
Big mistake.
their full potential
You made a
because
lot
they're
of
too
big mistakes
paralyzed
this
with
month.
the fear of making a mistake. So mistakes are our friends.
No, they're not.
So the first,
So was the guy who you said was Flow Destroyer. Wasn't he also a friend of yours?
first
At
order of
one point?
business
Oh my god, I look like Angie
is an
Power Disney
apology
here,
to
like
Malcolm
Siri.
Conrad Ogilvie in Scotland.
I apologise for getting your cat killed.
Although I didn't accuse him, I just asked who is.
You didn't accuse him, you just heavily suggested that he was Flow Destroyer, to the point where now he's suffering a severe personal tragedy because of your own negligence and stupidity, you fucking moron. You know what? Being friends with Angie Power Disney does not look like a smart thing to do. But you know, she has the same friends as David Schroeder, and being friends with him's also not very smart.
Flow Destroyer, and I played 2 different voice clips, and very quickly the Scots amongst my viewers tipped me off to the variations of accent differences.
But
and
what
I'm
happened
not.
before that?
I had my dearest childhood friend was from Bathgate in West Lothian, of a military family. The wife and I think all of the children, or if not 4 of the 5 children, were wiped out with medical experiments.
Okay, how does that have any relevance whatsoever to what you were just talking about? I threw an innocent person under the bus and something terrible happened to him. Did I mention my family was experimented on by space Nazis who worship Satan? Fuck you, you old hag.
All died of different cancers, supposedly unrelated and random.
Yeah, hopefully you have the same cancer gene as they.
But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm not an expert on Scottish accents, but
you'll die in prison.
I would be familiar with a lot of UK accents and even quite a few Irish ones. So to a person from that nation, you'd be very able to say, oh, that's a Cork accent, or that's a Dub accent.
But you didn't even do the slightest amount of research before
Belfast
making your
accent.
Completely dangerous claim
So,
about a person who actually, like, at some point was your friend.
I'm not just going on the accents. There's been an awful lot of research done. And it would seem to me no surprise that the dark side is trying to muddy the waters, swapping out profile pictures and putting actual victims or campaigners' profile pictures under their malicious trolling accounts.
You know what's funny? And I think in a Facebook post, she says something like Malcolm Ogilvie frame up averted. So she's now acting like the Satanists, the evil child-eating Satanists, fed her incorrect info about Malcolm Ogilvie to frame him. But even though she repeated the info and was the first person to repeat it, and then all of her stupid friends repeated it, and now this guy's suffering a personal tragedy because of it, the Satanists are to blame. Not her. Just blame it on the devil. All right? Just how you know what? Angie, do you also blame that letter you made your daughter write to that weird guy? Do you blame that on the devil too? You stupid bitch. I mean, this is all public information. What you are, what you've done to your children. You've even had your own children on your fucking streams. And we can watch you manipulate them live before our very eyes. And I can see they don't even like it, but they just put up with it because for some reason they put up with having an old hag like you, a nasty old witch who honestly serves no purpose to humanity. You're a parasite. You're a fucking tick. It's sad to have to watch your children love you in spite of all that, in spite of all the terrible things you've done to them, and that you're now covering up for by pretending you're some crusader for virtue, when in fact you're not that at all, are you, Angie? You're one of the dirtiest, nastiest people around, and you know it. And this is all a show for you to hide that from everyone else, but you can't. And you also won't be able to hide when they throw you in jail next year. And in fact, it might even be before next year. I'm hoping we get a nice Christmas present from Satan, okay?
And tactics like that. But it doesn't work. It muddies the waters for a while, and then it doesn't work.
You muddy the waters.
A good reason for Malcolm Ogilvie to be a thorn in the side of the Satanists is he was a very, very, still is, proactive and skilled campaigner to expect.
So now, after she has thrown this guy under the bus and got his cat killed, she's going to say he's a skilled campaigner against Satan, and she's going to kiss his ass. You are nasty. With friends like Angie, who needs fucking enemies? Seriously.
There's the Holly Gregg cover-up in Scotland of going back a few years. And when I say he's skilled, you know, he did things like contact GCHQ, who, for whatever reason, confirmed that the name he gave them was one of their employees and was out working in the field and could be gone for a year or two. That's the level of thorn in the side that he was to agents and worse. So it's no surprise really that a setup was planned. And
you know what is a surprise? You're saying as it's no surprise that he was set up. He's such a... Well, then how come your brilliant discernment didn't detect that it was a setup before you threw him under the fucking bus, you dumbass?
I apologize for my part. I'm glad I brought it out in the open, and I did what...
You're glad for what you did? I apologize, but I'm glad I brought the conspiracy out in the open by being the main perpetrator.
The Bible advises, which is if somebody wrongs you or appears to have wronged you, you go to them first, one-on-one.
That's not what you did. You didn't go to him first one-on-one. You made a fucking video outing him so all your psycho, violent friends can gangbang him. Fuck you.
You don't make a drama, you
fucking
say,
hypocrite.
This is what I've been told.
You did make a drama. In fact, we'll see the far-reaching consequences of the drama you made very momentarily.
Is there any truth